Meow. 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 Meow.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Chillin' with Dylan podcast. I'm chilling with your host Dylan today, and today I bring in the cat,
Hello.
Miss Cat. Welcome to the show.
I feel very welcome.
I've been looking forward to having you on. I know we've tried to schedule this, and stuff just don't work out all the time, but it did this time.
Exactly. That's what's important.
Yes. So, Kat, you work here up at the Ponderosa with us, just like most of the other people I've interviewed too. So, yeah. What's a little bit about you? Where are you from? How'd you end up here? Why'd you end up here?
So I'm from Miami originally, and then I went to school at the University of Iowa. While I was in Iowa, like that's where I kind of learned about all like how to camp and just all the naturey junk because I'd never done it before in my life.
I mean, I can assume there's not much in Miami to do
No,
like that.
zero, not at all. But there was a geology professor at my university who that her favorite thing was to take like non-geology majors on field trips. So my first time camping was like this 2 week one through 4 different states, and then I was like, oh wow, like I get it, I get it.
Yeah.
Like nature is cool. And so then after I graduated, I spent a year in Miami again, working as a substitute teacher. And summer came along, and I was like, wow, I hate it here. but
Yeah.
also, and also,
Like after seeing kind of like what else is out
yeah,
there.
yeah, and like, in the summer there isn't jobs because substitute teacher, like all the kids are out of school, and I'd always known about Cool Works, and I'd always wanted to go to Alaska, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna go to Alaska now, and so yeah, that's where I was last summer, and it was like the best summer of my life. I went through 12 states in the span of a year, and
That's pretty
yeah,
impressive. I
yeah.
mean, a lot of people don't even go through 12 states in their entire existence on Earth.
Very
So,
true. But yeah, and I ended up at the Pondy because I was like, I want to go to a desert next. And like, I'd never been to either like the Utah, Arizona, Nevada area. And so I just kind of applied to just all the jobs kind of in this area. And then,
yes, sir.
and I originally applied to be a barista here. And then
Oh,
I,
dude, you are
yeah.
so lucky that you did not end up in the
Oh
kitchen,
no,
dude.
no, like trust, like I'm so happy. like
Oh,
so much love to all my kitchen homies.
yeah, but
It's so
oh,
nice in the rec barn. So so yeah.
I
So
made a mistake by going into the kitchen. I'll just say
oh,
that.
but I
No,
mean, you appreciated presence in the kitchen.
yeah. I mean, I love it. I just joke about that. I feel like if you're working in a kitchen, you kind of have to talk shit about your workplace.
Hmm.
Like it's just kind of a given.
I feel like I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I say I hate it, but I don't. Stuff gets on my nerves,
Yeah.
but like okay, so you like at first wanted to be a barista, and then like how did you end up doing what you do then?
So see what happened was is that I applied to be a barista, and then a half hour before my interview, the HR they emailed me and they were like, "Hey, so actually the barista position got filled, but we do have other openings as a dishwasher or something
Oh
else."
god.
Right? No, and then I was like, "Hey, you got anything else?" Because I'd seen on their Coolworks person that they actually had Adventure Guide as one of the options. So I was like, "How about Adventure Guide?" And then oh, yeah, actually, we just had someone drop, so that position's open, and I was like, great.
Dude, that
so
works perfect.
so we ended up interviewing like for instead of barista for adventure guide, and yeah, and so when someone offers you, hey, do you want to be an adventure guide? Why would I say no?
Exactly. It's really funny because I just did the interview with Mitchell
Hmm.
earlier, and you guys have like the same kind of because he started in Alaska and
Hmm.
then also applied here for being in the kitchen, and then they were like, "Oh, the kitchen's full."
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like That's so
Hmm.
weird. Are you Mitchell? Just
Maybe I'm just the girl version of Mitchell.
wearing a
Maybe,
different costume.
maybe.
So, what is it like being an adventure guide? What does your day look like?
I mean, I'm gonna be so for real. I mean, everyone that like works here knows this. It's kind of embarrassing to say it on the podcast, but like, I don't be driving,
I mean,
because like, okay, because here's the other thing though too, and it makes it sound so bad. But like, I mean, when they interviewed, they on the website they have like like 8 different kinds of tours,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
you can do like the canyons,
right,
jeeps, UTVs,
right.
whatever.
Like, there's a huge variety. And I remember when I was in Alaska, like, I was friends with the glacier guides over there, and they were hiking miles every single day. And, like, that was, like, their main thing.
Hmm.
Um, they also didn't explain it that the majority of the job was, like, Jeep tours. But, like, they asked me how I felt about it. And I was like, oh, I don't feel super comfortable with the Jeeps. Like, I
Yeah,
was
I mean
basically like, yeah, what?
they're monster machines. I mean, they're
Right.
pretty intimidating
Yeah.
just looking at them.
Exactly. I was like, I don't really feel super comfortable with the and they were like, oh no, we'll train you. And I was like, well, okay. I already told them that he was trying. My conscience is clear. I like and yeah, and I got here and I was like, yeah, they tried to train me, but like I just didn't really feel super comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But so I'm basically just the rec desk girly. Like I don't really do too much. I do a lot of paintball.
Dude,
Um
that's dope. I mean,
no.
no, no.
No.
I mean, okay. I've never worked doing paintball and stuff. I guess I could see how it could be a pain in the ass, but
It
like
is.
being able to be like, dude, I get paid to like.
No.
It's not
Okay,
cool. It's
okay,
not cool.
okay. No, you are right. Like, cause like it was fun the first time I did it, cause then I was like, oh wow, like yeah, I'm getting paid to like like clean paintball guns, and then when you do it like just more than once. Like at the second time, I was already sick of it, and then you're like, oh my god. I actually made a meme about it to Oliver, but like because I don't do Jeep tours, a lot of times I would get assigned to do paintball because they try to split the tours evenly, and that's the one I could do.
So it's kind of like when you have a paintball shift, it's kind of like again.
Nobody likes it.
What's so like bad about it? Is it just
It's
you
a
got a bunch
lot
of
of.
screaming kids or people?
I mean, it's not that. It's just that it's genuinely just so many different parts because it's not because like the paintball guns themselves. I think it's like 4 separate pieces because it's like no, it's like the gun themselves, the little kind of the barrel, the air canister, and then the kind of thing that
The
the
hopper for
ammo, yeah,
the
the ammo.
yeah.
And not only that, but like the air canisters, you have to fill them up like in this giant kind of like I forget what it's called, but either way, they're very faulty, and so during the games, a lot of times the air canisters will just explode, and then you have to really quickly
Oh
replace them.
wait, like full on just blow up,
Not blow up, but like
just leak or
they'll
something.
they'll leak,
Okay,
and so they go,
okay.
or actually, or they'll make a sound of like they'll go. They'll like in the middle of the field, and then the guests are like, "What happened?" And I'm
This is
like,
lame. What the hell?
yeah, I've done this like 4 times today. Like,
Oh man.
and it's embarrassing too, because like like
Yeah,
we're
it's
it's
like
like
that it's kind of like you're the
I'm the face of
you're the
that.
yeah the face of the air canister fart.
Exactly, and it's just like like so, and then you have to clean all of that up, and usually it's like pretty big groups, so like it's like at least like around like 10 people. So then you
So
have to take all those guns apart, all the shirts, the sweaty shirts that they were wearing for the paintball, and then clean all those and the goggles, and it's just a lot to clean up, and
yeah,
it takes
yeah,
forever,
that's
and ugh, it's just it's a lot, and
do
also you have to stand in the hot sun for like a
so
good hour and a
do
half.
you get to like play? Well,
No,
no. Oh man. Okay, I thought you got to play the whole
no.
time. So that's lame. Just getting to watch everyone shoot each other and you
Yeah,
don't get to.
you
Do
just
you ever get like stray
I never
paintball?
have. They do like shoot paintballs, like kind of like basically the potential for me to be hit has been there, but I've never gotten hit from a stray.
Okay, but you get a group of little shithead teenagers and you might get shot while
You
you're
could
not able to shoot back
pretty
at them.
much, yeah.
Oh
And
man.
like we used to have like a little barrier for it, and then now we don't because they're renovating it, so it's just like it's fully open.
See, I like that we're talking about this though because I feel like a lot of people when they see like these adventure jobs and stuff, they're just so they're just like, "Oh my gosh, it's going to be fun all the time," and you don't like this is the reality
I
of it,
mean, yeah, no, it is, and like, again, when they were like, "Oh yeah, no, we'll train you," I was like, "Oh, I already know that this is gonna be a shit show."
Oh yeah.
Like I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh God," but sometimes there's something fun in that though too, of like they're kind of chaotic, and so like like it's a little bit more laid back than like a corporate kind of job, you know.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. There are good things and bad things about it, but yeah, there are definitely. I don't know. It's not a 5-star establishment.
Yeah,
That's what I would say.
definitely. I don't call this place the Poopy Pondy for nothing because
Mm.
it definitely smells like sewage around here and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
But overall, it's a great place
it's
to
fun.
work
Yeah,
and
yeah,
meet a lot of great people. And
yeah,
every place has its problems, but you know,
yeah. No, for
you
sure.
can look past them. So I don't know. I've just always thought the rec barn is just like I don't know. I've always been like kind of jealous that I don't work in there because like I don't know, even being like just at the desk when I've walked in, like it's just everybody's so tight with each other
Hmm.
and chill and like I feel like y'all get up to some fun antics. Like what kind of things go on when you aren't dealing with having to check people in with their waivers or like when it's just like you guys are just bored in the barn, like you guys
I mean, this might be like a really boring answer, but Oliver and I play the Washington Post crossword every day, every single
wait,
day.
Washington,
But
where,
just
like
because,
in the newspaper
yeah,
thing?
yeah, because like the New York Times one you have to pay for, or
Oh.
you have to have an account. But the Washington Post is free. So every day we play a round of crossword puzzle, and then we individually play Sudoku. And
Okay.
or like sometimes, yeah, we'll like when it's like really dead, like we can go out and like go like toss a frisbee around for a little bit. Or like we like kind of like kick the soccer ball between us for like just the ones of us that were working for a little bit. And like I mean, I forgot who it was that said it, but like it might have been Nicole, but like we have like access to the actual internet from our computers, and not like like in the restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can like play like games and stuff on
Well,
there, you know?
actually, I had found like on the little iPad in the restaurant. You remember Amy that worked here?
Yeah.
Her and I would like go and we'd go on this website where there's just like a billion just quizzes
Mm,
and we would like play that on there. So you can still do stuff, but it's not like the
right.
same as a whole computer.
No, like we also we found this like little frame of that said like employee of the month a few weeks ago. Did you hear about this already, or did
I
you know about this?
don't think I
No,
have
but we printed out a picture of like one of those like cats that like it's like one of those meme cats, and we just put it in there.
like the
It's like
keyboard cat or
it's
something.
like it's of the same vein basically, and yeah, we put so like I mean we get up to just like kind of like little goofy things every now and then like that.
I think one of my favorite little things like that in the restaurant is because there's like a million iPads in there for the register
Hmm.
POS thing, and then there's the ones that show like the order tickets and stuff. And like on all of them, if you press the home screen or like the home button, like there's just a picture of somebody as the
Mm, yeah,
background.
yeah.
And yeah, we'll take like stupid pictures in there and just set them as the background. And there was this one of me like making just a super stupid face,
Hmm.
and like somebody set it as the background on the one that faces the guest, and then like
Oh.
something happened, and it like went to the home screen, and I didn't know, and someone was like, your face is on here, and and I
Oh, that's
looked, I was like,
funny.
oh man, that's
That's really
not
embarrassing.
a flattering image, dude. So I also wanted to ask, I didn't write this down, but I remember wanting to ask. So being from Miami and then like coming out to
Hmm.
places like this where it's not so city, is that like a big change for you, or do you like that change, or like I don't know, do you enjoy being in the city, or do you enjoy being out here, or a little bit of both, or
So in general, a lot of people will ask me like oh my god, you're from Miami, like how is that like? But for me, it's not even like really like super interesting anymore, because like I don't even think it's necessarily that I don't like cities, but like it's not that like I don't like the city aspect of Miami, because like there are some cool things about cities. Like so when I've been to like other cities like New York or Chicago or Seattle, like I've enjoyed myself. But when you grow up in Miami, it's not like you can do anything in Miami because you have parents.
yeah,
You
you're
know?
a child, like you.
Exactly. So it's not like I could ever really enjoy like
Yeah, it's not like you can go to the bar or
right.
just go out and do whatever you want like you
Right.
can at this age.
Like I can do that now like when I go to Miami, but like I mean the things I don't like about it are that like there's no public transport, so you need to drive, which as
Really?
we've
In
yeah,
Like
there
in a
is
city as big as Miami,
there
there's
is
no.
oh my god, I like, this entire podcast could be my gripes about Miami and the lack of public transport, so we're not gonna get into it because it's like, oh, it's like the thing I dislike the most about the city, really.
Okay,
Like,
that's interesting
but
though. I
okay,
would have thought it would have been, a little
there
more
there is, it's not robust. Because for example, to get from my house to Florida International University, if you drive, it's a half hour. If you take public transport, it's 2 hours.
holy shit. Just because it stops everywhere along the way
It's
and
just
there's
because it's not direct. It's like very few stops, and then you have to like get like on three different
like
like
connecting.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. So it's just a whole headache to
yeah.
even try.
Like my mom doesn't drive either, and my mom used to work in downtown Miami, and she used to take public transport, and it would take her 2 hours to get to work every day and 2 hours back.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. For a 30-minute drive by yourself.
Yeah, and so that's so I never really got to explore Miami. I feel very stifled just because, like, I mean, even like, because if I lived in New York, I could at least like leave my house and do stuff. But I really just have to rely on either my friends or Ubers, and it just
Yeah.
like feels like very like, you know,
Yeah, it's like a lot to just have to plan and think
right?
about, and
So like,
you
and
don't need
like,
to do that if you want to just go out and have a coffee somewhere.
right, and like in Miami, there's like nothing to do that's free. Like everything, like you have to pay money for or
Like
parking for, or
like
like
there's no like parks or
there
like
are, but like
public spaces like
there
that. It's
are. There's
just
very few. Like
yeah.
or and like it's just a hard city to like really like live in, and there's not really a lot of like third spaces where people could just like kind of hang out. Like I mean, like I live in front of a lake, like it's a little man-made lake, and but it's not like people like actually like swim in it or anything
Yeah.
like that. Like
It's just kind of there for show.
it's kind of just there. I mean, I don't know, like there's obviously there's like an aspect of like, like I could be trying harder, but like it's just like I
You
don't know.
shouldn't have to. Like it if you're living somewhere, like it should be,
Yeah.
you should be able to easily get to and from places and
Yeah.
not have it take 2 hours. Like that's
Mhm.
maybe if you were going to the next town over, I'd
Right.
understand, but
Or like, I mean, part of the reason I don't drive is because I'm terrified of driving because I got in a car accident in Miami. Because if you turn your turn signal on, you're weak, and then the person will. So
oh,
that's what happened.
a lot of
Uh,
like aggressive drivers and stuff
Very
like that.
aggressive, very much so. But like, I mean, in conclusion though, like I've kind of been thinking about it, and like I don't even necessarily know if I don't like cities. I like so like I'd have to like actually like live in a city like on my own kind of
Yeah,
for an extended period of time to really know what I like or don't like. I definitely like nature stuff. I mean, like I've been
yeah.
doing this for a year. But like I also do like when I'm like, wow, civilization. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
like I have my move to Oregon coming up, and
Mhm.
like I don't know, it's like I grew up in like a city area,
Mhm.
and so I understand like
Right.
what that's like, but not like a I get the population of my hometown growing up was like 40,000, so
Mhm.
it's not huge but not
Yeah.
small. But I've never really been in a city by myself.
Right.
And so I'm very excited for this
Yeah.
move because it'll be, you know,
Yeah.
me, myself, and I can actually, see how I
Mhm.
operate in
Yeah.
in a city setting.
Like, you know what I enjoy about cities? Because like I have like two major interests in my life, which is like nature stuff and art. And here I can get the nature kind of side of me fulfilled, but like I really do love being in like I like opera houses, I like concerts, I
Yeah,
like art
just live
museums.
music and
Yeah,
karaoke stuff,
I don't
or
like karaoke.
well, like
But no, but
like
like I mean I want to be surrounded by like big statues and like
yeah,
and those are in cities,
yeah, and like
like
architecture. That's fun to
yeah,
look
like
at.
I like being
Fountains and
yeah. And like I feel like ideally like I would probably live like somewhere rural like 2 hours away from a major city would probably be like my ideal like an hour or two, so like I'd have like live in like somewhere quiet but have access to like the amenities a city has.
yeah, yeah.
Or like the place I lived in longest besides Miami was my college town, Iowa City. I love Iowa City. Love, love,
So
love, love,
is
love,
that like a? Would you say that's like a bigger city? Or like, do you
love.
know what the population is
We can
there?
look it up. Let me
Let's look
see.
it up. Let's ask the all-knowing Google God machine.
Because I know like the student body's like 30, it's 76,000. So like
Okay, so yeah, definitely like twice as big
twice as
as
big as, but
as
it's still not big, like
yeah, yeah. Like you could still probably like meet somebody and then bump into them
mhm.
later on in the week.
I mean, I think that's what I like. I like the concept of like somewhere being walkable where I can go do my groceries and then come back and then like just like have like a sense of community where you kind of see the same strangers again and
Yeah.
again. Like even if you don't know each other,
It's
but
like,
like
oh, that's the
you wave
crazy lady with the weird dog or whatever,
exactly,
like,
exactly. Like I just kind of like that aspect. Actually, one of my friends from Miami that moved out to Seattle. Like I've always been like a very community oriented person. I like
oh yeah.
people, you know. I don't know. That's how I be. And my friend, when he moved to Seattle, like a couple months in, he told me, "Hey, Kat, you know, like you've always talked about how like you really like communities, and I never understood it until now because just him walking to work and stuff, he'd recognize people and or like be on the bus with the same
Yeah.
people, and there's something comforting in that, like of people like being in their similar routines and just like
Yeah, kind of like having like a I don't know, I feel like it makes you feel less like alone
yeah,
almost cuz it's like, you're going throughout your day and you see other people also going throughout their day
hmm
and like you see that
right.
and it's like you may never even interact with those people, but it's like you
It's
just
comforting to
yeah,
it's
yeah.
humans are social animals. I don't know, but he had never he because also grew up in Miami. He went to school in Orlando. He straight up was like, "Oh yeah, no, I've never felt community, but like I get it now." And he was like, "Oh, Kat, like I get why you always say that you won't like community because it was his first time in his life experiencing that."
Yeah, yeah, I mean it's I don't know, I feel like I value community a
hmm
lot and like just people like
Yeah.
I've said it before that like the more I go through life the more I think you could have all the things you want and go wherever you want and see all these amazing things, but if you can't share it with
hmm
people, if you can't like like just imagine that you're out here on one of these like beautiful hikes and like you just see the most amazing thing you've ever seen in your life.
hmm
It would kind of suck if you weren't ever able to be like, "Oh, dude, this is
hmm
so cool" to somebody else, and
Right.
even if they're just like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty cool,"
Yeah.
just
No, I
to
mean, I felt that exact thing when I went to Scotland and I
Scotland.
went to Scotland and I was only there for a couple days. I was only there for a couple days, like I think it was like 2 days, but I went to like all four museums in Edinburgh in one day. But like, and it was gorgeous. But like, I remember being at the top and being able to see like the castle stuff, and it was gorgeous. But I remember being like, wow, I'm like alone because this is already like I've been solo traveling for a while now.
Yeah, yeah,
Because there's a value in solo travel, and there's a value in having like experiences like just your own. But like in that moment, I was like, wow, like I do kind of actually wish I had a friend here. Like
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like you go full circle because like at first people are like, I can't do anything without going with other people, and then you start branching out, and you're like, wow, it's so cool to be able to travel on my own and not have to like worry about other people or their
yeah,
schedules and just be able to pick my own schedule. But eventually, I feel like there's like at
yeah.
least for me, it came back full circle of like it would still kind of be nice to have someone around right now. You
No,
know?
it definitely. I mean, I go through that as well, where it's like I'll have times where I'm just like, man, fuck people. I just want to be alone,
hmm
and then I'm alone, and I'm like, man, I'm lonely. But
Yeah.
like not lonely, like I never feel lonely, but
hmm
it's just, sometimes it would be nice to, you know,
just share. Like I
yeah,
mean, like
share experiences,
yeah.
share go get a coffee and then be like, dude, this is really good. And someone could be like, yeah, this is like
hmm
even just something as simple as that
Right.
is just really nice.
Like
Um,
I feel like I'm basically having a hodgepodge of like I've had all of these conversations like over the last week, so I feel like I'm now it's like I'm just like recapping all these conversations I've had. But like a lot of times when like like guests will ask me about like what I'm up to or whatever, and I tell them about Alaska and all this. A lot of times they'll bring up the movie like Into the Wild. Have you seen that
oh
one?
yeah, yeah,
Right.
that's actually where like this
Mhm.
idea comes from. I got inspired by that movie because he's
Mhm.
like in the bus and it's like he writes that little thing like happiness isn't real unless it's
It's
shared.
yeah, happiness is only real when shared, I think is the quote. But like when people that don't really travel, like they'll see that movie and they'll be like, "Wow, the nature part is the cool part." But like that's not the point. The point really was the whole like the happiness is only real when it's
Yeah,
shared, you know?
yeah, it's because I mean I've had my dreams of just dropping out of society and like I used to want to just full send that and
Mhm.
just go off into the woods, and then it was like the more I thought about it I was like, what would I do, like
Mhm.
what would I do just by myself out there not
Mhm.
being able to Like, I could make myself laugh and make myself happy all I want, but like, what's the point if I
Mm-hmm.
can't? I don't know. Yeah, just echoing my laughter off into the
Yeah.
void and never having it return back to me.
Yeah. And like I mean the thing about that movie too is that like the subtext about it is that like he talks about how he's going alone or whatever, but all up until he gets to Alaska, it's just he's just met by these like very kind strangers that like take him under his
Yeah,
wing and like help him out and like that's the point. That was
yeah.
the point the entire time.
That was the cool part of the journey, and
Yeah.
then once he got out there alone, it was just like, well,
Mhm.
what now?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, like solo travel's never actually solo because like, people that like, don't haven't like done this kind of thing before, they're like, "Oh my god, you're just going to Utah? You're just going to Alaska?" It's like, "Yeah, because then you make friends there like very quickly,
yeah.
you know?"
I kind of had a realization about this when I did the Colorado Trail
Mhm.
because I went out and started by myself. Like had this whole month long hike ahead of me, and I was like literally shitting my pants because I was like, "Holy crap, I'm doing this alone." And then I had heard of people saying, you're only ever as alone as you want to be.
Mhm.
And I mean, dude, one of the first people I met on the trail, I ended up hiking the entire thing with. And it really taught me that you have a choice in how alone or not that you
Yeah.
are. And that, even when I'm out there traveling in, some big city, it's like
Mhm.
all it takes is just being like, hey, what's up, dude?
Mhm.
And then you're not alone anymore.
Right?
And I always like to say, like, I don't believe in strangers. I just think that everyone is a friend that I haven't got to meet yet.
Mhm. And like you have to be careful sometimes. Like obviously
Oh,
as
definitely.
a woman, I also
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
as a
that's
woman. Like,
that's like we have totally different. I feel comfortable hitchhiking with people, but like I could understand where,
like
being.
I think my mom wishes I was more scared than I am.
I think everybody's mom wishes that,
Yeah,
honestly.
honestly, that's a good point. But like, yeah, like I do have to have like a little bit more, like just like have a little bit of my guard up. But in general, yeah, like I feel like a lot of times you can make friends in a lot of different spots. I always have to be a little bit careful because, like, as a woman, you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, there's some
right?
some sick people out there that
Yeah,
want to
no,
do some weird stuff, and
yeah.
but
But
for
hey, I'm alive so far.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
alive
You've
so
been
far.
doing something right the whole time.
Yeah, haven't messed up yet.
Yeah, I definitely believe that a majority of people are good in the world, and
Yeah.
you
I,
know,
I do think that like women can a lot of times be more afraid than they should be, and because like I think like before, like I see a lot of things about like women that like want to travel alone. They're like, well, women can't absolutely, and it's like, yeah, you can, dude.
yeah. I
You have to
mean,
be careful. You can't trust everybody, and like keep your wits about you. But I mean, you also find pretty cool people along the way too, and
yeah,
it's just about kind
and it
of
if you're really smart about it, it's like you can learn to protect yourself
yeah,
and learn how to. It's more scary if an unprepared person goes
mm-hmm,
out into the world,
yeah,
somebody that's like wants to go roam the streets and stuff, but they don't know how to
mm-hmm,
fight, or they don't know
right,
how to talk somebody out of
mm-hmm,
de-escalate things. Like you
yeah.
you got to know these things, like
That's very real, yeah.
male or female, like it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. You got to have your wits about you.
Yeah. No, like things that I'll do is that like I'll put like my hoodie on or like if I'm wearing a hoodie, like I'll put my hoodie on and like I'll start like shuffling my feet more because I was a psych major and if you like there's like a thing there's like people that like kind of like walk with like shuffled feet or whatever are less likely to be like attacked or something. Like I don't know, but basically I try to make myself the intimidating figure.
Yeah, kind of act like make yourself appear like you're gonna be the one
Yeah,
robbing somebody, or
exactly. I'll do that, or like in Seattle, I can do a really fun thing because my friend that moved there, the one that I usually stay with when I go there, he's a 911 operator, and he has my location on my phone, so I'm fully comfortable like walking around like 2, 3 a.m. in Seattle, and then like if I meet anybody, even if I have a good vibe from them, I also let them know like, oh yeah, by the way,
I'm being tracked by
by by
the authorities,
by
and
a literal like the police literally has my location, and like I feel safe because it's like I don't know, like
it's almost like
I have a
you're
personal like
yeah, it's like you're a cop or something,
yeah, it's
like
like if you try to do anything, there is someone that has my location.
have you seen like those videos of people that travel and they go to like hotels and they just do all this crazy extra stuff, like they'll like lock the door and then put the
Mhm.
little alarm thing on
Yeah.
it and like bar the window shut.
Right.
I'm like, dude, that is too much. Like
But it's,
it
I also can't blame people for doing that though too, you
well,
know?
to an extent, I understand it. Like, put a bar on the window because, most places I feel like, you could just open the window. But, like, I don't know, some of the things I'm just like, man, that's like so extra. Like, I understand like extra locks on the door or
Mhm.
whatever, but I don't know.
My mother and my father are from Latin America, and shady things happen in Latin America.
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
true too.
it's
That's true
like,
too.
or I mean, one of the things, what was an actual culture shock thing when I went from Miami to Iowa was realizing that people didn't lock their doors because no one in Iowa locks their doors. No
Dude.
one here really locks their doors, and
Yeah.
like, and that was like a thing where like in Miami you never don't lock the door,
Yeah. I
and like
mean,
I don't know, that was like a weird thing for me. I was like, what?
it's interesting because I mean like that's kind of like out in Michigan. Like, I mean, I know so many people that don't lock their cars, don't lock their house.
Mm-hmm.
I've growing up, my friend lived in like this subdivision and it was a little bit like wealthier.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we'd walk around at night and some people would literally have their garage door open. Like it,
Yeah.
and I mean, we were little shitheads, so we'd go in there and see what kind of weird stuff they
Yeah.
had going on. But like you do that, you could have like not some 13-year-old kid
Yeah.
in maybe like some
Mm-hmm.
crazy person that wants to break into your house, and
Mm-hmm.
you just made it way easy. They don't even have to break in, they could just go in your house and
Or actually, I'm remembering now. Like, actually, in one of my previous jobs, there was a guy that tried to get into my cabin.
wait,
Like,
like
yeah, no,
while y'all were there, or
yeah,
oh my
no, because
god.
no. So that's so the thing is like, I can't blame people for being like super extra. Like, I probably wouldn't go to the extent of probably the things that you're mentioning, but I can't blame them either because like, so what happened is like I was the only one. So at this job, there were three of us in one of the cabins, and the other two they were still like kind of out at the party. But I wanted to come home early, I think, because I had work the next day or something like that. And we had also gone with this other guy. We're not going to say names, but and then a third person like drove us all back. And whatever, I get back in my cabin, whatever. I'm getting ready for bed, and then I hear like, because we didn't have keys, we had like a door code, kind of.
Yeah,
I hear
like
like,
here.
yeah, exactly. I hear the door code going doot, 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 like failed, doot, 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 failed, and I was like, okay, if it's one of my two roommates, they'll get the code. I'm not touching that, or like
Yeah,
they'll call me.
no,
I
no,
was like,
definitely.
I'm not touching that. And then it keeps on going a couple more times, and then eventually it's a knock, right? And so, okay, I go and like I open the door a little bit, and it's this guy, and he's drunk, and he has this like weird like smirk on his face, and he mumbles out something, and he starts to take a step into my cabin.
Oh.
I literally, I promise you, Dylan, I grabbed the door and I said nope, like,
And
and I
just
slammed it into
slam
his
that
face.
shit.
I literally said nope,
Ooh,
and then I screamed, "Yo, that's scary as fuck, my guy!"
dude.
Like, and he just walked off.
Did the door like hit him?
I hope
Like,
it did. I don't
dude,
know.
hopefully he had to make a trip to the dentist after
I hope
that,
so. I
knock
didn't,
out some teeth.
but I did not give a fuck if it hit him because I was just like, no, you
Yeah,
are
no, I
like,
mean,
but see, like when you're in these kind of situations, that's how you have to be. Like, I was like, I don't care who you are. Like, I don't like because like even like I don't know. I just had to like prioritize my safety. Like, if I hurt you,
yeah,
that's fine. But like,
yeah,
you
that's on you for,
right for like
trying to come into my
putting my door code in a bunch of times and then just knocking and not saying anything. Just like
wait,
that's
so
weird.
was this like you said this was a seasonal job?
Yeah, this was on an
Okay.
employee housing. Yeah,
So did you know the guy
yeah,
or
I knew him.
oh, okay. So that's
But
even
like
crazier too, I feel. Like
like
a stranger is like I don't know, but like someone I feel like adds a whole nother level of
Cause
creepiness.
I vaguely knew him. Like, I just knew him like a little bit. Like, and that night was the first time we had an actual conversation. And like he was very clearly flirting with everybody, and I made it clear I wasn't
Yeah, yeah,
interested.
yeah.
You know, and so yeah, that was my only interaction with him. So it's like, dude, like you're drunk, you were flirting with me earlier. Like there's just like every red flag possible. So like like
Man.
in that moment, I was like, I don't care if I break your nose like with the door,
No,
like get out.
seriously. It's like you're doing it to yourself at that point.
Right. So I mean, that's why I think I've been able to at least stay safe is because I'm in those kind of situations. My brain just goes, like ask questions later.
Yeah, seriously. It's like act now, think
like that's
think
a
about it. And like I think that's a great way to do it, because it's like, we all know what we should do in the moment, I
mhm,
feel like. And if you start asking questions, you're just not going to do it, and that could be bad. That could end up
yeah,
bad. That kind of I have a very similar story. So I had this girlfriend in high
mhm,
school, and she lived at like her friend's house because her parents were just
mhm,
not all there or whatever. So, I'd go over there, hang out, and like it was really cool because it was like me, my girlfriend, her friend, and then this whole family. And like we were all just like chilling in the kitchen one day, like, I don't know, eating food or something. And then
mhm,
all of a sudden, this like drunk dude just like stumbles in the door and like falls on there's like the washer and dryer right
mhm.
when you walk in, and he just like fell on there. And like, dude, wrong house, bro, because girlfriend's friend's dad was like, he worked for like I think the Chicago Fire Department.
Mhm.
And like he always, the first time I met this guy, he was pointing a gun at my face in the driveway, and he's like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm just like your daughter's friend's boyfriend coming to just if you want me to leave, I'll go." Like,
Like, "Yo, it's just
so
Dylan. Yo, yo,
so
yo, it's
dude,
just
like,
me.
I
I'm just
mean,
a
this
homie."
this guy just like, I mean, the dude was like slosh, the guy that came in. So
Mhm.
the dad, like, he just goes over there and like basically like picks him up by like his pants, like he's giving him a
Oh my
wedgie
god.
almost, and just like throws him out the door, has his gun, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you? And what are you doing in my house?" And the dude was just like taken so aback, and like I think it just like
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm drunk. I didn't know whose house this was." And he's like,
Mhm.
"Well, if you don't know whose house it is, why the fuck are you coming in here?" And like I think
Mhm.
it just sobered him right up, and he just ran
Yeah.
away. And I was like, "Dude,
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
awesome."
you never know what kind of people you meet that do these jobs. You find like literally people from all different backgrounds, and people that like have been in prison, people that are like addicted to certain drugs, and like
Yeah,
you just never know like who you're getting yourself involved
yeah,
with. So like you just gotta be careful.
yeah. Not even at just these jobs, man. I mean, just anybody
No,
out there.
true. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It
The good outweighs the bad for me though. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. If something bad is gonna happen, it's like you can't really control that anyway, but you can choose to be like in a good vibe until something like that happens.
Yeah, like I mean, trying to step away a little bit from like kind of the negatives of it. Like I genuinely have met some really just wonderful people, like kind of like through all these jobs. Because I've quit in certain jobs and then joined other ones. I've also had 5 seasonal jobs in the last year.
Where all have you done?
So it was Alaska, and then it was the one that I mentioned. So it was in like the employee housing was in Idaho and the job was in Wyoming. And then it was Colorado, and then it was North Carolina, and then here.
So yeah, that's quite the assortment of,
Yes,
of
very
seasonal
different.
jobs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you meet, I don't know, just amazing people. Because I mean,
I mean, like I feel like I'm kind of yapping a lot, but I don't know.
that's the point.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the point.
But I mean, the other thing about seasonal work, and as far as like relationships and seasonal work goes, like just like friendship wise and just the people you meet, is that like the other thing about them is that I feel like people can be a lot more sincere in them because it ends. And so
Yeah,
people can be more themselves because it's kind of like, if this person doesn't like me, then like whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Don't gotta deal with it that long if it don't.
Right.
You know,
And
I feel like
yeah.
it lets you just be like, fuck it, a lot
Mhm.
more. Like you can just,
Like I know some people like to like try out different personas, but I'm not that kind. Like I feel like there are two ways people go about it. Either they try to act like a different person in each job to like try a new costume out or something. But for me, I just am constantly trying to like just be more myself and be more comfortable being
yeah,
myself, and like not trying to change myself for like other people, or like basically accepting that like not everyone's gonna like me, and that's okay because I want to be the person I am.
yeah, you gotta be authentic.
And that way you find the people you actually vibe with a lot faster.
Yeah, I think it's like, it's so crazy that there's people, and I think we've all done it where like we've changed ourselves to appease to others in
It's
some
a
way.
part of growing up, like,
It is,
like,
but it's
you
very
know.
freeing to realize you don't have to do
Mhm.
that, and you can just be yourself. And if somebody don't like it,
Yeah.
well, then you know how many other people are
Yeah.
out in the world that you could be friends with,
Tons. And
or
also, it's easier to not put on a costume, and it feels better to
yeah,
not have to,
it's just like with like lying. Like you don't, if you just don't lie, you never have to remember what you said.
Yeah,
It
I'm a
it
shitty liar.
Yeah, yeah, I could tell with the game of traders that we did.
Yeah, no.
Uh, I'm the same way. I
Yeah.
played Secret Hitler the other
Yeah.
day in the rec barn, and when I was on the liberal team or
Mhm.
whatever, just trying to do, I
Yeah.
guess, the chill thing in the game. I was like so
Not Dylan.
calm. No, no, like I was like
Oh, okay.
myself, because like it was
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, we're the good guys that
Oh, I
aren't
see. Yeah, yeah,
trying to kill nobody. And then I got the fascist
yeah. Mhm.
role like the third round, and everybody said like Dylan's acting weird. He's chewing his gum a lot faster and
Mhm.
and smirking a lot more. So it's like I
Yeah.
because that's the side that you have to like lie and
Right.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
deceive, and I just don't got time for that,
No. It's exhausting.
and yeah, it's like the same thing with like a facade, like having to hold that up is like, you might forget what
Mhm.
your facade story is or whatever, but
Mhm.
like when you're just being genuine and being yourself, you never have to worry about forgetting who you are,
Right.
you know?
Like, I am what I am. Some people vibe with it, some people don't, but I'd rather just be with the people that vibe with it.
Exactly. And that's the thing too, is like the more that I am myself, the more that I am just being
Mhm.
genuinely me, the more I realize that like the people that are worth a shit to have around will just be there.
Yeah.
Like I won't have to work super hard to
Mhm.
keep those people around or bend over backwards,
Right.
and like it's one thing to bend over backwards for people because you want to, and a
Mhm.
whole nother thing to do it because you feel like you
Yeah.
have to.
Mhm.
And it's just so freeing to realize that you just don't have to do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. I also think my standards for friendships have really gone up because of seasonal work, because like I feel like after every job you really leave with like between like 1 to 3 like real friends. Like you have a
Yeah,
lot of friends, but like you leave with like some people that you're like that was like a special person,
yeah,
kind of thing. And it makes it so that like even when I meet people later on, like I'm like, do I feel like this person like actually cares about me like such and such other people did? Like, I'm less likely to want to like change or bend myself to please someone because I know what it's like to have
yeah.
like people in my life that actually care about
You
me.
know that there's better.
Mhm.
And like I've been on a kick with that lately too, not even just with friends but with everything. It's like, I've been really appreciating and valuing myself a lot more, and so it's like, just simple little things like little bad habits or whatever is like, I don't know, I just don't feel the want for those things that are just because I know there's better. I
Yeah.
know there's, and we all deserve better. We all deserve more.
Mhm.
And once you establish your own value and worth with yourself, it's
Mhm.
like a lot easier to be like that is. It just makes absolutely no sense to choose things that aren't benefiting
Yeah.
me or helping the people around me, or
Mhm.
it's just, yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you, because you are heading out to Colorado. I mean, I know you have like
I
some,
have like some travel in between,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah.
but final destination for that
Right, right.
trip is Colorado. What are you excited for about out there? Like, what are you looking forward to? And, what are kind of your, not expectations, but like, what are you imagining that it'll be like out there?
Yeah, so I genuinely have no idea. I'm honestly a little bit afraid, but I'm also always a little bit afraid before starting any seasonal
Mm-hmm.
job just because
It's
like.
normal.
Right, and like, it's always like, oh my god, I hope I get along with people there. I hope I make friends. But I mean, I've wanted to go to Aspen since literally like I started seasonal work pretty much because the friends I had in Alaska, they were lifties in Aspen and they told me all about it. And I
Okay.
would have gone there directly after, but I didn't get employee housing, which is why I ended up bouncing between some other spots stuff instead. But I wanted to go there for a long time just because like I mean I've heard it's like the most bougie ski resort
It's
in the
like the
entire
spot.
in the United States wise, like that is like the fanciest one kind of
Ooh,
like yeah.
bougie.
No, it is, it genuinely is. And I mean, over there, it's kind of like I actually really liked Steamboat because it was so walkable, so accessible. Like there was a bus every 15 minutes. Like there was a grocery store. There was like a like so it kind of had that thing that I was mentioning of like Iowa City where like there was a sense of community and there were like
Like
things to do,
walkability and stuff like
but
that.
still naturey stuff to do as well. And so I'm excited for Aspen to be like that as well, where like I can kind of like have some independence and not have to like rely on people to drive or anything like
Oh yeah,
that.
it's so nice.
And I mean, back to the thing about like really liking the arts. There's a really huge art scene in Aspen, so they have their own opera house. They have an art museum.
Oh
Like,
wow.
yeah,
So
I mean, it's like rich, rich people over there.
okay, sweet. So
I believe it's
so
like 100 billionaires have a house in Aspen, something or something.
shoot. So you're gonna be making bank out there too,
I hope
or
so.
what is your? Do you know like what the
Yes.
job is that you'll be
Yeah,
doing?
so I'll be a barista 2 days a week and then a store associate 3 days a week. There's basically this like a ski gear shop that has a coffee shop in it. So I'm doing both.
Okay, so you'll work in the same spot, but just
Yes.
have that's
Doing
kind of the hostel that I'm gonna be
mhm.
going to. Like you could one day be front desk, one day be
Yeah.
housekeeping, one day whatever.
Mhm.
That's exciting though,
No,
man. I
yeah, no,
mean,
I'm excited.
I think you'll make some fat tips doing
I
the
really hope so. I really
at
hope so.
least the barista stuff. I don't know about like clerk, like store
Because
clerks,
I'll get
but
commission on store clerk,
oh wow,
which
okay,
I hope is good because again, I'm selling to they said the clientele is like kind of like high end clientele, which I mean all the people in Aspen kind of are. Um, so I don't know. I hope it ends up pretty well. At least
either
hopefully
way, you'll get to go to a cool place, meet some cool people, and
keep learning how to snowboard.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I remember the thing I was gonna say before now.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, no. But we were talking about before, like it was kind of reminding me about like basically like deciding not to settle for like friendships or anything. I also find that like I'm less likely to settle for like careers I don't want or jobs that I'm not
Yeah,
happy with. And so that's why, like, I mean, I've realized that, like, because I do want an actual career at a certain point, because I would like to have like a house and
some
stability and
stability.
all
Yeah.
that. And so what I'm really also happy about all this was because I originally wanted to be go into academia and be a neuroscience professor, but like that's a very long and very low paying path, and ugh, but I realized that like I what I wanted in a career was that I wanted it to be science based. I wanted to be working with and for people, and that I wanted it to still preserve my ability to travel.
Okay,
And that's why I'm going into nursing. I think I've already
dude.
told you this before, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I
But
know we've definitely talked about this, but
yeah, but I don't know. I felt like I should say that in this. I don't know,
I mean,
but
I definitely feel it's just like anything you want in life. It's like why can't you have it? Like the only reason I feel like you ever can't is because you tell yourself you can't, or
mhm,
you settle for something less than what you want.
mhm,
And sometimes things take time, but as long as you make a firm decision, like I will not stop
mhm,
until I have exactly the life that I want, like once you decide that, like nothing can stop you
yeah,
until you decide otherwise. And it's a very freeing and liberating thing to just be like, I am living this way because I said so.
yeah.
You know?
Because I mean, and because like I loved research and all that, and I forgot who it was, but there was some guest or someone that came in briefly and was like, "Oh, I know about like this like neuroscience research position over in some hospital, something like that." And I probably would have jumped at the chance for that previously. And research is still something that I'm interested in doing. I still want to be a scientist. Like my gravestone will say Dr. Esquivel, like trust.
Oh, word.
um, but I was like, that sounds like in my head, I didn't say this, but in my head, I was like, that sounds great, but that would really get in my way of my schedule of playing in the forest right now.
Dude, yes, yes.
Like I really like playing in the woods right now. And so my timeline is that basically I'm saving up money for the next 2 years and then I'd go to nursing school after 2 years. But I don't know. I really feel empowered by that. Like I feel like I've been able to like really choose my path, and I never got stuck in like corporate because I feel like if I because there was a corporate job that I almost got that would have paid me $70,000 a year, and I feel like I would have been happy in that for a few years, but eventually like the lack of like meaning would have
Yeah,
eaten away at
yeah,
me, and but it would have been like golden handcuffs, like, and I would feel like I could
yeah,
leave or something like that. Versus, hey, I'm poor right now, so like, I mean, from here we're just going up.
yeah. And like I really like this. Have you ever heard the artist Rit Momney?
Mm-mm. No.
you'll have to check it out, but they have this song, and in one of the parts they say, all these cars are so expensive, I guess the money brings expenses. And
Mhm.
it's like, I feel like a lot of people, will settle for a job because it pays a lot.
Right.
And then it's like, well, you have all this money, and then people start buying more stuff, and
Right.
then it's like now they have to pay bills on these
Right.
fancy cars or
Or
this big
mortgage
house
or
or
yeah.
whatever. And you end up like suffering because you're not chasing the things you love, you're
Right.
chasing stuff, you're
Right.
chasing these things, and there's no fulfillment in
Yeah.
that. But if you choose whatever you love, although you may not start off like making a bunch of money or whatever,
Mhm.
I firmly believe that when you chase the love, everything else, love provides, love
Mhm.
transforms, love helps things grow. It might be a small start, but all these big ass trees around here started out as a tiny little
Mhm.
seed. So
And like, it's not that I even really need money to be happy. I'm like, I'm fundamentally a very simple person. Like, I
yeah,
don't buy myself new clothes or anything like that. I buy like little jewelry, like the little earrings I bought, like that. But the like the you know which one I'm talking about?
the sword
The
one,
sword
yeah,
earring,
that one,
yeah,
that's like the coolest earring I've
right.
ever seen in my life.
Like that's like the first like jewelry, anything that I bought my for myself in like 6 months. Like I every now and then I get
Yeah,
something like that, but I really don't need much to be happy, is what I realized. Because like for me, richness is like having the flexibility in my time and everything. Versus, I mean, I'm from Miami, so like a lot of people like for them, and there's nothing wrong with it if that's what they want. Like is material stuff. Like they want a fancy car, they
yeah,
want a fancy house,
go ahead.
right?
Like nothing wrong with that.
But like unfortunately, we live in a society, and I would like to have a family one day, and so like I do eventually need to find a job that pays good money, which is why I'm going into nursing. But I'm happy that I'm at least like with nursing. Even if I do nothing else with my life, even if I am just a regular basic nurse for the next 40 years and I don't like start any charities or stuff or anything like that, that's still a life well lived. And
Yeah,
like,
especially if you want like a family and stuff, and you're,
and I'd have the money
yeah,
to be able to support because everything gets more and more expensive.
yeah, you need money in this
You
world.
need
That's
money.
just a fact. Like I mean,
Like
if
it
you're by yourself, you can't
right.
like lately I've been on a kick of just like I don't need
Right.
anything, but
And here's it's because if you are like I am okay being a single person and just kind of gallivanting around the world on my own and I don't feel like I need it, like then cool. You don't need anything else.
exactly,
Then you're fine.
exactly.
But if I'm in my head like I would like to have kids one day, I
Yeah,
would like
you got to
to
get
have
real with yourself,
like let's be so for
Yeah.
real.
It's like I want a family someday. So it's like, if I didn't, then yeah, I'd just go around and just, do this kind of stuff forever.
Mhm.
But I know realistically one day, I'll need to find a place to stay and like be
Someday.
able to support that family, because
Mhm.
you can't do it here. You could.
But
You
like
c
we both have seen
Yeah, I mean,
like
I would not want to, plop some kid into a life of travel that they didn't ask for.
yeah.
Like, it'd be one thing to like have a house and like be like, "Hey, we're gonna go. Would
Mhm.
you guys want to all go on a trip to blah blah blah?"
Right.
And then have a trip.
Mhm.
But last year there was this family here, and it was like the parents, and they had like I think 8 kids or
Mhm.
something, and they all lived in like a RV and just
Just
traveled.
yeah.
And I was like, that's cool in theory, but
Mhm.
those kids, they don't get this experience of being able to go to school and make
Right.
friends, and like they make friends in one place, and then they have to you can't
Yeah.
do that
Yeah. I mean, it's very similar, and it probably depends on the kid too. But like, it is very similar to like like military brats and stuff too. That
yeah,
like they constantly have to move. I don't know. I like maybe it's just because I did grow up with just like having like the stable like go to school stuff. But like I feel like stability is good for kids. I don't know. I don't know too much
yeah,
about it, but like
because I
I don't
mean
know.
they already kind of have
There's
they
so many changes going on for
yeah,
them.
and they got like the growth
Uh
hormones and
huh.
all this and all that. I would much rather. I don't know. I guess it all comes down to preference to the individual, but
Right.
realistically for me, I wouldn't be able to keep doing stuff like this and
Mhm.
and feel okay with myself having
Right.
like taking care of other people
Yeah, no, I understand
or
what you mean.
dragging them along on this. I don't know. I would just feel kind of selfish
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
And
But for now, we get to be selfish. We get
exactly,
to play in
exactly,
the woods, and
exactly.
like, I mean, we like danced under the stars that one time.
Yeah,
Remember? Like, I mean, and like then like that's what we can focus on for right now.
yeah. Like I'm listening to all the old people that say, "Do it while you're young."
Oh yeah, like
You know,
yeah.
I was just talking about this same thing with Mr. Thunder Billy Coconut. I was like, dude, I listen to people like you because you have decades of experience on me, so you actually know what you're talking about. And if I sit here and say you don't know shit, old man, then
Mhm.
I'm just admitting my dumbassness. But yeah, I usually get things like wrapped up about an hour. We're
Cool.
like an hour in.
All right.
I
I
mean,
mean,
do you have anything else you want to put out to whoever listens to this or
I guess my parting words are more so to you, my friend Dylan. But like, I mean, thank you for just like also doing these and just being a good friend this summer as well too. I've really appreciated you. And like,
Ah,
honestly, I'm probably not gonna listen to this now. But like, I think the
hey,
cute thing about doing this, I did kind of say it earlier when I saw you today, but it's like they're kind of like little time capsules.
yeah, yeah,
And
you could come back to it one day when you're like, oh man, I missed
mm-hmm,
the pondy, and
yeah,
it's
like this is the mom lore bit where like,
yeah, you could show this to your family one day and be
yeah,
like, hey dude, yeah, we this is what we got up to back in the
back in the day,
back
this
in your
is
mom's day.
I was just in my buddy Dylan's room, just kind of yapping into a microphone.
Yeah.
But no, I really appreciate it genuinely. Like
Oh dude,
much
I,
love.
I appreciate having you on, and
Yeah,
I feel like it's been a very flowy, chill, easy episode, and yeah,
good vibes.
yeah. Thank you very much for whoever is listening out there. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to this as much as we enjoyed making it. And until next time, have a good time. Peace.